I'm really delighted that we have something to announce, which is that we have completed the transaction to sell Immediate to Hubert Burda Media, which I think is really fantastic news, and it opens a new chapter for Immediate. The first thing to say is that I and the leadership team think this is fantastic news and very good news for Immediate, and that in Burda we found a really great partner. Burda have acquired this business because they really like what we're doing. When they looked at Immediate, they saw a kind of mini Burda in the UK, and the UK was a market they really wanted to get a significant investment in, and they see Immediate as a platform business that will enable the group to build a huge business in the UK around Immediate. Burda is a huge global business, not very well known in the UK, but I think that's going to change pretty soon. Over 10,000 employees across dozens, or I think 20 different markets. And so what we will become is a part of that global network. And I've heard people say that this is kind of the best of both worlds because, over the last 5 years, we've had a private equity investor that's really backed us and really supported the team to build a great business, but we've been on our own. We now have a similar structure with a board that will stand above the leadership team, similar to what we had with Exponent, but will be part of a global network that has enormous opportunities to help us and possibly for us to help that network. The Burda team were extremely interested in our business, extremely impressed, and actually saw an enormously strong fit between what we do, what they do, the culture, the approach, the strategic direction of the business. Just to summarize, we're going to be part of an international network, but run as an independent business as part of that global network. And I think this is a really exciting opportunity. And I'll come back in a little bit, but before I do that, I wanted to, first of all, invite Eckhart Bollman, who is the Managing Director of Burda International, to tell you a little bit more about Burda. So can we have an immediate welcome for Eckhart?
Thank you very much for the warm welcome. It's not easy to come after him on the stage. So much passion, yeah. We are as excited as you are, and we are very delighted that it's worked out finally, that we are now going to be one family and trying to enlarge the whole business over here in UK. The company was founded already in 1903, which is quite long ago, and was a little tiny printing house at that time in a little city in a rural area of nowhere in the southwest of Germany called Philipsburg. They found out after a couple of years that they were bankrupt, and they moved on to the next city and started again. It was 1908, once again with a printing house, which was owned by Franz Burda. In 1927, he started the first really successful magazine, and this is interesting because it was a program guide. With 3,000 copies, which was quite a lot at that time, and just about 8-9 years later, he sold 85,000 every week, which was quite a success. Today, still family-owned, but management-driven, still interested in print. We believe in print. We make money in print. We see that Immediate gives us the chance to enlarge also the print part. You have a wonderful platform. We can learn from you. We can also help you to improve here and there. So I'm very happy. It's a very nice culture. I'm looking forward to working with all of you, and I'm very sure that we will be successful in the future and grow. Thank you very much.
Now I'd like to introduce Martin Weiss, who's the MD of Principal Investments, to come up. Can we have another immediate welcome?
Good morning. Pleased to be here. As Tom said, I'm the CEO of Burda Principal Investments, which is the investment arm of Hubert Burda Media. We invest into digital businesses across the globe, in the US, in Asia, and in Europe. But there's a second hat that I have on in the organization. I'm the head of mergers and acquisitions, so it made sense that I spent a lot of time with Tom and the executive team over the course of the last 5 months. Hubert Burda was one of the founding fathers of the World Economic Forum. He met Bill Gates, and in 1997, Bill Gates told him, "Hubert, have you realized that your business is basically going bust in the next 2 years?" And he says, "No, why is that?" And Bill Gates said, "Well, it is all about electronic communication in the future. And it is a thing called the internet." And Hubert Burda said, "That's interesting, what is that?" So he went back home, asked his head of IT, "What is the internet? Can we do something there?" And the head of IT said, "Absolutely, I've heard of it, I will build you one." We started a project back then, and we sunk 100 million German marks, which at that point in time was a large sum of money. It nearly sunk the company because that thing went belly up within a year. And we took completely the wrong approach to actually getting a transition from print media into digital media. We got it completely wrong. The good thing about Hubert Burda, and this is why I admire this man so much, is he said, all right, we got it wrong, but the trend is still right. The internet is still there. So what we need to think through is, how do we get digital right? And the answer to that evolved over the next years, and this is where I'd like to pick up from Eckhart and the history of the group, because what we found out is that the print business is a hugely resilient business that still provides a ton of joy and cash to the group. However, there are things that we need to do on the digital side where we use our strengths that we have on the print side, where we know about customers, where we know about topics, where we know about trends, where we know about the heart and the mind of the consumer, to then start investing into independent digital businesses that focus on those consumers and then make it work together in a way that is hugely synergistic. There's really 3 things that we have here. One is we have a very profitable enterprise. Second, we have an absolutely fantastic team that runs a really tight ship and runs a good show. And third, what we're doing is we're investing in a platform, and Immediate Media has proven that it can do M&A and that it can integrate new ideas into the group and make it work really, really well. And that is what we have invested in, and so we're really, really looking forward to pushing Immediate Media, to pushing it very hard to do new things, to do great things, and continue investing in this company. This is not a cash-out investment, this is a cash-in investment, and we're looking forward to working with all of you to make this a huge success for the next 5 years. All right, thank you.
I wanted to just say a few things about, how exciting this is for me. 5 years on from when we founded the business, I was looking back on the communication that we did to the London teams, the BBC Magazine teams at that time, in The View in Westfield. And some of you might remember that, and some of you weren't around then. But that was an interesting thing to look back on, because we said some stuff there about what we hoped to do, about building a growing business, about a business that was going to become dynamic, focused on its people with a fantastic culture. And when I look at where we are today, I'm incredibly proud of what we have all achieved together, and you should be incredibly proud as well. And I think what you've heard today from both Eckhart and Martin is, this is going to be business as usual, but possibly with a bit of turbocharge. I wanted to just say a few words about Exponent. Exponent have been amazing, magnificent owners, actually. They've backed us through thick and through thin. We've delivered for them, but at every step, they've been considerate and thoughtful and strategic owners. And, I hope we get a chance, I hope everyone gets a chance to say thank you to those guys, because we owe them a lot. We also, I have to say, absolutely from my heart, we owe someone else a huge debt of gratitude, which is Stephen. What a huge part he's been in our success, and what a huge part he's been in every area of the business. But I think the best way we could actually just say thank you is to give him a big round of applause.
Back in 2011, Tom and I and Kevin gave a lot of presentations. And one of the charts that I thought was most striking was from and to. and it said what we would seek to take immediate from and what we'd take it to. I remember a few of them pretty well. The first one was, it said from cautious to bold. It also said from verticals to brands. It also said from print to multi-platform. And there was a few others. It's funny how often the shortest charts are the ones that distill the message the best. And as I looked at it, I can only echo what Tom said, which is we've come an awful long way. I, like Tom, thought that the destination was going to be another private equity owner. I'm extremely pleased to be standing on a platform telling you that it's Burda. And one reason, and there's lots, that I actually think the best deals are good for all parties. They're good for the seller, yes. They're good for the buyer, yes. But most of all, they have to be good for the people in the business. So I'm also happy to say, amongst my mixed emotions, that I'm really confident you've got a great owner going forward. So best of luck to all of you, and thank you.
So look, I just wanted to finally say it's the big whole team that's achieved our success, and it will continue to be that. And a massive thank you for your commitment. You've heard me say in the past that my distilled view of culture is if you can get a bunch of people that get up in the morning and want to come to work, then you've probably already won. I think we've demonstrated that, I hope, most of the time. And I just wanted to say a massive thank you. Thank you very much.